hopefully you guys are in a receptive state after all that this whole week. Because I really just want to talk to you. I have an exercise for you for this week, but I have a lot that I want to say too. So maybe we'll get started on that, and then I'll give you your exercise probably more towards the end. So this week is equilibrium, holding the line. So I want to kind of take the state that you're in and, you know, apply it out towards women. The only problem is I'm not going to be able to turn pages in gloves. I might not be able to wear them. Oh no. I'm sure you love the gloves. I'm going to have to take one off. Kiss it goodbye. Okay, I want to talk about some misconceptions about power. So, you know, I noticed someone online commented that women are power, and I do agree with that. I think that men mistake their physical power, which I think is honestly force, for power, you know, and so a lot of times they're overstepping their boundaries. So I want to talk about force versus power. Force is more of like an outward manifestation. You know, like someone said, women are power, and I really do think that's true because, you know, women have the power of attraction. That is a power, you know, that men don't have. And, well, obviously, you know, the power to give, you know, procreate, give birth. So we hold the seed within us. We hold the seed. And, you know, we actually do hold the power, like the power of attraction. I always say femininity is the strongest power in the universe, you know, the strongest. And so I think men are hungry for power, you know. Women don't crave it. Men misunderstand that. A lot of times they think we're weak. We don't crave power. We already have power, you know, within ourselves. And not only that, but a lot of different things that you guys probably don't think about, or maybe you have. If you have, you know, just excuse me. But since we're little girls, we have a period, and it comes once a month, whether we like it or not, and it comes until we're old women. So we realize that we're not really in control of our bodies. You know, we don't get too full of ourselves. Not only that, I mean, you know, if a woman ever gets pregnant, it's like an alien has taken over your body all of a sudden. You have no control over what's happening inside you. You realize it's like you have no control over it, you know? So we're a lot different. Okay. So then what I think is that, you know, males, they form this pyramid, this power structure that's a pyramid. And it leads to all sorts of problems, you know, because they're always trying to assert force to try to get to the top of the pyramid. This is a male power structure, this pyramid. So yeah, they're always trying to, you know, attain power. You know, people don't crave what they already have. If you're not hungry, you don't crave bread. You know, women have power. We don't crave power. We're the source of life. You know, we have the seed within us that recreates. You know, we don't crave power. So what I want to talk to you guys about for next week, you know, hopefully I've caught your attention with all the stuff leading up to this, and hopefully you're in a receptive state. And what I want to talk to you about for next week is sort of watering the seed, which is in women. This is like going to be, you guys keep asking me what your job is. Your job is to nourish women and water the seed, you know, and I'm going to give you some ideas for doing that. And also I have some funny things to say to you. Since we have the seed, we have the egg, then you guys are the fertilizer, the shit. So just remember that. You're the fucking shit. You're the fertilizer. That's it. I don't mean that in a mean way. So a lot of it, yeah, it comes down, you know, to might versus right. So women, you know, we're not trying to exert force all the time and might, you know. So it's going to come down to might versus right. And you guys have kind of turned into like the pigs from Animal Farm, like walking upright, you know, like in all your physical strength and force, like, you know. So yeah, so you guys are going to have to, like, you know, clear your way of thinking so you can really see our strengths, you know. So this is a lot of this, you know, this porn, like kind of like elimination, extraction, trying to, like, you know, clear your sight a little bit so you can get past the exterior of women. And, you know, two things. I mean, obviously it makes men look at women as sex objects, you know, clearly. But not only that, it's bad for you guys because you're just like overstimulated all the time, you know? I don't have a problem with porn, but like, you need to have a woman in charge of you because you guys can't control yourselves, you know? So, yeah, so many men now are asking for chastity. You know why that is? Because they know themselves that they need it, you know? I've been a dominatrix for a long time, and you see trends, you know, that come. This, like, chastity now is like, so there's an explosion of, like, men who want chastity. That's because there's an explosion of porn and constant, like, overstimulation and access to it that you guys can't maybe quite deny, you know? So, yeah, of course you crave chastity. Of course now guys are saying they want castration and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, because it's overwhelming. And, you know, men used to work out in the fields all day long and have, like, you know this, but they didn't have this constantly, you know, like in their eyesight, and like they would be tired at the end of the day, and, you know, it just wasn't a big problem. There are new problems in our world, you know. You guys got to adapt. Yeah, so I think, you know, women have to be careful not to rule like men when they take over. Like I say, like, it's just gonna happen because it is. But, you know, I do believe that, you know, it will be a circle structure instead of a pyramid structure. I do believe if we're thoughtful about this and careful, that women can lead in a circular power structure instead of a pyramid power structure. A more communal, you know, power would be shared and more equal. It's not going to be a pyramid system. We have to really, like, re-identify the whole way we think about the power structure. And I know you're going to think I'm a socialist. It has nothing to do with socialism. I'm not a socialist. It doesn't have anything to do with what economic system a country chooses. And I really think that, you know, different countries probably should have different economic systems based on their religion and their birth rate and different things, the way it plays out. I'm talking about the actual power structure and, you know, in place. Yeah, so I mean, that way it won't be just like everyone trying to make their way to the top of the ladder all the time, you know, like king of the hill, and constant fighting. So I do think that a circular structure is like real power, just like women. And, you know, probably some of you have thought about this too, but just think about the person you've probably trusted most in your life. Probably most of you would say your mother or one of your grandmothers or something. Like, there's no problem with trusting women. We don't have, you know, we don't have a lot of the issues that you guys do. We don't overstep our boundaries, you know? And, you know, like I said, men are malfunctioning a little bit now, I think, based on all this stuff that's going on that you guys are you know, exposed to. And men are way more susceptible to it than women are, you know? You guys have testosterone, you're hypersexual, so you have, you know, what your tendencies towards violence or like lust for power, and your temptation to like use force are much greater than ours, you know? We don't have a lot of that stuff. The other thing is, I mean, I don't even know if I wrote it down, but like any of you who know history know that like in crunch time, women have stepped up. They don't like to, but you know, Joan of Arc stood up. France would probably, I mean, it wouldn't exist today without Joan of Arc. Queen Elizabeth I, you know, stood against the Spanish. I don't have any problem with the Spanish. I know some of my slaves are Spanish, from Spain even, you know, the Spanish Armada. England might not exist without a woman, you know? It's like, when it's crunch time, women step up. They don't like to do it. We don't like to do it. But let me tell you, it's crunch time, you know? It's like, also like Boudica, Queen Boudica, like an ancient English queen, under the Roman occupation, 2 of her daughters were raped by Roman soldiers, you know, and she led the uprising against the Romans. There are a few things that will spark women to violence, you know, and it's assaults against women. It's like like when male blood starts to like spill over onto women and children,